Hello everyone. This is the chapter 4 of this course, and in this chapter, we'll learn about the design and the equipments that are used in a food processing plant. Okay, so that means, if we want to design a food processing plant, there are some certain points that we should keep in our mind. Okay, so I'll talk about those, and also I'll try to give you a brief idea about the equipments that are used in the food processing plant. Also, some characteristics of the designs, like what should be the characteristics of interior and exterior of the plants, etc. Okay, so let's start. First, when we want to design a food plants, okay, there are something certain points that we should keep in our mind. Okay, so such as there should be adequate space. Okay, enough space for all the equipment that will be installed, and for enough space for the storage materials. Okay, space is very important. Okay, you just cannot pile up your machineries and equipments in the plant. Okay, there should be adequate space for the machines and also for the storage facility. Okay, and we should provide separation of operations that might contaminate foods. So what that means? In a food processing plant, different processes are done. Like for example, we may have to clean the raw materials. Okay, and usually the raw materials, they contain lots of darts, dirty things, and lots of extra debris, lots of microorganisms in it. So we have to clean the raw materials. So now think, you are cleaning the raw materials in a room, and also then you are processing your raw materials or making the processed food in the same place. Okay, so that increases the chances of contamination. I mean, your processed food can easily get contaminations from the raw materials if you do these two works in the same space. Okay, so that's why we should always provide separate places. I mean, you should do these processes separately. Okay, so that means we have to provide separation of operations to prevent the contamination. Okay, then we have to provide adequate lighting, adequate ventilation, and there should be pest control systems to get protection against the pests. Okay, so one simple thing can be like, I mean, there are definitely there will be windows. There may be some windows in your plant, so you should use the net, so that the pest cannot enter the plant. So okay, this was just one example. So you should have, I mean, we should have all the pest control measures there. Okay, so based on the work that are done in a food processing plant, okay, we can separate the working area into a different zone. One is product zone and another is non-product zone. In the product zone, all the works associated with the production of the food is done, and in the non-product zone, mainly the I mean administrative work, officials work, which are not related with the production, are done. So the product zone, it include these working areas, the process areas, packaging line, the storage facility, like the storage facility for the raw materials, finished products, packaging materials, etc. And the non-product zone, okay, non-product zone, it includes area for office facilities, laboratories, mechanical shop, dock, storage equipments. Okay, so okay, there is laboratories here, so please don't think that laboratories is a should be in the production. Okay, what we do in the laboratories, maybe like for example the testing laboratories. Okay, in the microbiology laboratories, where you check the microorganisms. Okay, whether, okay, so all the microbiology tests to ensure the quality of your food. So this is not related to the production. Okay, this is more like the, this is testing facility. So laboratories, they belong to the non-production. Okay, okay, and also like the mechanical shop. Okay, mechanical shop, I mean, usually the industry, they have the mechanical shop where they repair all the instruments. Okay, so if any instrument they go wrong, so they take those machineries into the mechanical shop for repairment. Okay, so now let's talk about the characteristics of the exterior of the plant. Okay, so your dash, I mean, where your plant will be situated, that area should have some characteristics, should have some desirable characteristics or accepted characteristics, like for example the site. Okay, the site of your plant. Okay, that site should not be near the harbors or the drainage ditches, the refuse dumps or swampy grounds, because if you if you set your plant around these places, your plant can get easily, various kinds of contamination from these dirty places, right? These are dirty places, so you should not set your food processing plant near these dirty places. Okay, the ground, avoiding large trees free from debris and spilled foods, lawn with long grass. I mean, the ground of your food processing plant, there should not be large trees. You know what's the problem of large trees? Say a thunderstorm happens and the tree fall down. It may fall down over on your factory. It will damage your factory. So there should be no large trees. Okay, it can be harmful for your plant in case of. It can be disastrous for your plant in case of this kind of emergency situation like the cyclones, thunderstorms. Okay, so and also the ground should be free from debris or spill food, because if there are debris and spill foods, microorganisms can grow on there, and also these debris and spill food, they can contaminate your finished products. Okay, and there should not be lawn with long grass, because if there is long grass, can they support the growth of different kind of pests, or even the small, like the rodents. Okay, so these pests and rodents, they can cause lots of troubles in your plant. Okay, and then final, design. Okay, the design of your plant. So direct flow of product through process line is effective and sanitarily correct. So what do you mean by that? So in the processing plant, so say you process a food, there are many different processes in between, right? Maybe someone is in one place you are chopping your raw materials. Okay, and then in the next step you are mashing those chopped raw materials. In the next step you are mixing something with those mashed raw materials. Okay, and in the next step maybe you are doing some sterilization process. So if this process there is a continuous line, it's most effective, and this continuous line is sanitary also, sanitarily more correct. Why? Like suppose there is no continuous line. Okay, so there is no direct flow, so someone is chopping your raw materials, then some people, they're taking those chopped raw materials and giving to the giving those chopped raw materials to the people who will then smash them. So if there are so many manual things, okay, so if there are so many manual things, what that means, there will be many people, right, who will do those works manually. So this will increase the chance of contamination. Okay, so if you can make this workflow in a automatic or direct way, okay, so they will decrease the chance of contamination. Okay, and also it will be these will be, the maintaining the sanitation will be easier. Okay, I just we just learned about the desirable characteristics of the exterior. Now, desirable characteristics of the interior. Okay. So far, every interiors. In the interiors of a plant, there are lots of things like such as walls, doors, ceilings, floors. So in a food plant, this interiors, they should have some, they should have possess some desirable characteristics. Okay, so let's talk about those. Say for example, wall. Okay, now wall of the productive zone and the non-productive zone are different. Okay, in a food plant. So for example, for the non-productive area, okay, the wall can be made of wood or concrete for the non-productive. Okay, such as for the office, I mean the office, or where people do like the administrative works. Okay, but wall of the productive area should be made of concrete. Okay, not wood, should be made of concrete, must be free from crack and crevice, and impervious to water and other liquids. Okay, usually epoxy paint are used. Okay, epoxy paint are, they are kind of like the enamel paint. Okay, I mean if you put the epoxy paint over something, it's give a plastic like texture. Okay, and the epoxy paint, they are like, they are impervious to water, and also impervious to other liquids. Okay, and they prevent all, there are no crack on crevice. Okay, so well, why the wall of the interior should be like this? Because like say for example the wall have some crack and crevice, so what will happen? Debris or dirt will deposit there, right? And if debris and dirt deposit there, microorganisms can grow there. Okay, it will definitely will cause trouble or problem. Okay, and if your wall, again, and also if your wall is pervious to water, then water will leak through is through the walls, and they will make the environment, I mean the environment inside the plant more like I mean there will be high moisture there. Okay, so if there is high moisture there, the environment would be kind of clumsy. Okay, so in high moisture microbes can grow more easily. Okay, so these are the desirable characteristics of the interior of the wall. Okay, then doors, the exterior doors should be fit tightly. Okay, and personal doors should be solid core and clad in stainless steel. Okay, so that means the doors should be actually tight fitting. Okay, and if the doors are loose, loose door means things can come inside. So, for example, outside, I mean, your processing area should be clean. So, okay, I mean, think this scenario that the processing area, it should be clean. So that means you are maintaining clean air and water supply inside your clean room. But if the door, those are not tightly, tightly fit, so what will happen? So that means the dirty air from outside can enter into your clean room. Okay, it will cause problems. Okay, then ceiling, as surface of the ceiling must be non-porous and should be easy to clean, must be coated with epoxy paint if required. Okay, if required you have to paint them with epoxy paint, and the ceiling should be easy to clean, because otherwise debris, okay, can deposit there. Okay, so actually, I mean, if it's very difficult to clean the ceiling, that will be a problem, right? Because you must have to clean everything inside. It includes the ceiling. Okay, because if the cleaning would be very difficult, people, I mean, there is a chance that the cleaning person, they will be less interested in cleaning those, and they sometimes they will just skip the cleaning process. Okay, and it will facilitate deposition of debris. Eventually microorganisms can colonize there and grow. Okay, then floors of the plant. Floors must be impervious to water, free from cracks and crevices, and resistant to chemicals. Okay, and for food processing plant, tile floors are very good. Okay, tiles are good choice for making the floor of the food plants. Okay, so and why the floors need to be impervious to water, free from cracks and crevices is I mean the causes are same like the wall. Okay, lighting. What kind of light or how much light there should be in the inside of the plant. So, for warehouse and store, restrooms, building entrance, food display and packing, 20 to 30 FCP light will be enough. Okay, FCP is a unit of light. Okay, FCP by the numbers of FCP, we can gauge how much lights is there. Okay, so for warehouse, restroom, 20 to 30 FCP would be good enough. For office, food process, lab, machine shop, inspection table, you should use more light, 50 to 60 FCP, right? For example, in the food processing place, there should be sufficient amount of light. You cannot make it dark. Okay, people have to see clearly to do their job. So the light should be bright enough. Okay, then noise. Sound absorbing panels should be used for making comfortable situation for workers. Okay, and water absorbent are not used in process areas. Okay, so I mean in the process areas, lots of machines is running there. So lots of machines mean, and these machines will create lots of noise, sounds, very high noise and sound. So high noise and sounds, they are irritating for us, right? They are irritating for our ear, they are irritating for our brain, and we all know, right? Sound pollution is a big problem, right? Sound pollution can, cause disease conditions in us. Okay, so and as many machineries run inside the plant, so you should have a system that the noise will be get reduced. So how we can do that? There are sound absorbing panels available. Okay, so if you put these sound absorbing panels inside the, your processing room, these sound absorbing panels will absorb the sounds produced by the machineries and make the environment less noisy. Okay, comfortable for the workers. Okay, so if the workers continue to work in high sound, high noise, it will be really bad for their health. Okay, for bad for both their mental health and physical health. Okay, then stairwells shield. Okay, the stairwells should be well fit, clean, and orderly. Okay, and automatic closing doors are recommended. Okay, so automatic closing doors are actually good choice. Okay, so if the door opens automatically and cleans automatic and closes automatically, that means you don't have to touch the doors, and whenever we need to touch something, it will get dirty. Okay, and whenever it get dirty, microorganisms can go there. Okay, so automatic doors are actually better choice for the food industry. Okay, we don't have to touch anything, it will open automatically, it will close automatically. Then ventilations. Okay, so there should be proper ventilations. Okay, because if the ventilation is not okay, the environment inside the plant will be really discomfortable. Okay, even it can become like unhygienic. Okay, so and the for workers, usually workers, if they want to work comfortably, the optimum RH, okay, relative humidity should be 40 to 65%. Okay, if the humidity is more than 65%, it becomes very discomfortable. Okay, that's why in the summer in our country we feel very discomfort, right? Because the humidity in the summer, the humidity in our air is very high. That's why we sweat a lot. Okay, we feel very clumsy, we feel very discomfortable. So and also, if the relative humidity is very low, like less than 40, again it's become discomfortable, right? If the humidity is very low, it's low, actually it's extremely dry condition. Okay, so you will like, you may feel a burning sensation. Okay, because if it's very dry, okay, your our throat will become dry very quickly. Okay, and it's not good to be in a very low relative humidity environment. Okay, so the most comfortable range of relative humidity is 40 to 65%. Okay, temperature 20 to 21 degrees Celsius, comfortable temperature. Okay, and systems are always preferable to windows, doors, and are screened. Okay, and there should be windows and doors in the room. Okay, and there should be screen. Screen mean, okay, we know what screen is. Okay, in this case screen mean, like for example, there is a door, and in the door there is glass. So if it is glass, so it's easy to see, right? So otherwise, actually, in a room, if everything is completely sealed, like there is no this kind of screen from through which people can look. Okay, see, it's very discomfortable. It's really scary and discomfortable. So whenever you will design a plant, you should you should definitely have to keep these things, that those working place, should be comfortable work enough for the workers. If the working place is comfortable, the worker, I mean, their efficiency, the workers' efficiency will be highest. Okay, you will get maximum product. But if the environment of the working place is below standard, discomfortable, the worker will not be able to work optimally. Your production will decrease. Okay. Okay. So that's all for this part. In the next part of this lecture, I'll talk about the equipments that are used in the food processing plant. Okay, thank you.